Good morning, all. Welcome to Rugby Chat for the 9th of September, 2025. And I tell you what, already thanks, Clarence, for sharing, everyone. Thank you. I'm here by my lonesome today. Good offsider Mike has got a previous appointment, so hopefully he is listening to this show today. But the thing is, I've got something to say. And I've been keeping quite bloody quiet about it, really. For those that are watching me for the first time, my name is Kevin here. And I own RugbyHeartland.co.nz and RugbyRedefined.com. I've been doing this sort of bringing the world of rugby to everybody since 1996. That's almost 30 years. I've built up a lot of relationships in this time, a hell of a lot of relationships. And to the point where, I'll have radio stations get me on to do stuff. I'll have, I've been on national television talking about games coming up. I'm a published author for Ngāti Pro East Coast, which is why, well, it's not reason this is behind me. This is the live game this week, but we'll talk about that after the show, after my rant. I've worked for 10 of the Heartland unions in the past. I currently work for Buller Rugby Union and Wairarapa Bush Rugby Union. I also work for the Bay of Plenty. I do some little side works for the Bay of Plenty NPC side. I worked for 15 years with West Coast. They had no social media content. They had no real history whatsoever, no website. So I built a website. I built a West Coast Facebook page. There's only, 4 or 5 clubs down there. I numbered all the players who played since 1890 for West Coast. I asked one particular person, his name is Adam Gilshanen, for 10 years to help me number these players because apparently he's the knower of everything. He declined. So I wanted to make sure that players like Troy Tafari could celebrate a Centurion game and have a number to put beside themselves. I also had the problem of doing the list. Now, the great thing about history, and I found that out when I wrote the book about East Coast, I was really, really worried about getting stuff wrong. And my publisher said to me, Kevin, the good thing about history is it's never right. You can look at any history book, and I can tell you this right now. Every rugby almanac in New Zealand, if you look at your current rugby almanac, go to the back page of that rugby almanac, and there is an amendment of mistakes that were made the previous year. So, people make mistakes. I take it on the chin. I.e., I said South Canterbury have played Mid Canterbury 147 times this week. Sorry, I missed the game from 1928. So I've updated it. I've fixed my mistake. So the thing is, when the previous CEO of West Coast Rugby announced that he was retiring earlier this year, sort of knew it was coming. But anyway, within 5 minutes, Mike Lash from South Westland, Adam Gilshanen from Greymouth Marist, and Bill Phillips, a photographer from the West Coast, all decided, great, we can now have a crack at Kevin. Why? I don't know. You never see my name on any old post from West Coast, except for when I announced the team lineup, the capping for a couple of years ago. And all that said was compiled by not invented by, compiled. I went through the history books. Now, within 5 minutes of this happening, the page for West Coast Rugby Union I had set up, I'd been removed as an admin that I helped build to get to over almost 7,000 followers. I went onto the website, which I'd given Mike Lash full access to, because he was the media manager apparently. Full access to the website that I own, that I contracted out to West Coast to put up their results, put up their news, put up whatever they wanted, contacts. But it is my website. And I was employed to use my website, westcoastrfu.com, as a portal for the West Coast Rugby Union. Only to find out that when I logged into it, I couldn't get in. And I thought, what the hell's going on here? So I went on to my server. Yeah, my server. And I went through the back entrance of the website I own to find that Mike Lash had taken me off as an administrator and had tried to delete 20 years of work. The silly thing is, though, I'd only just recently backed it up. The silly thing is, though, he forgot to empty the trash. So I just reinstalled it and I removed him. Okay, and then I put the page under construction. I spoke to John Canning, the chairman of West Coast, and he said, oh, you can't use the logos. You can't use this. You can't use that. So fine. I rebranded westcoastrfu.com to become the Might of Red and White. I even came up with our own little bloody logo for it. I even went into AI and made an AI-generated photo of guys running around wearing red and white hoops. Well, after all that, I spoke to the previous CEO, who was still in the job for 2 months, and he knew nothing about me being removed as a contractor for West Coast Rugby Union. So I said to him at the time, is it all right if I set up a fan page, a page where we can celebrate rugby on the West Coast? And he said, yes, Kevin, you can. Well, I did that. And then Adam Gilshanen, Bill Phillips decided to hit me up with copyright infringements. And I went, wow. The page got shut down by Facebook. So I went back and set up a new page. But in the meantime, my own personal profile had been totally blocked or restricted by Facebook. So I had to use a different profile and ask someone else to help me set up the new page. And that's been going great. I've had people send me photos to say, Kevin, can you please put this on your page, Might and Red and White? I've got players, current players who play for West Coast that are following that page. Well, on Saturday, I posted photos of the Buller Rugby Development Team playing a West Coast 15 team. Now, I didn't credit West Coast Rugby Union. I would have just shared it, but I'm blocked from their page. So I loaded it up and I just said, here is images from the Buller Rugby at Victoria Square in Westport playing the West Coast 15. Adam Gilshanen went and copyright appealed every photo. Now, I would have given a copyright credit, right? But there was nothing on that page. So I thought, okay, everything was fine. Then yesterday, literally, I congratulated Jordan French on being the latest player to play for West Coast. Cap number 1431. I found a photo of him from the New Brighton Club in Christchurch because he's on loan from Canterbury. So I put that up with an image of the Might and Red and White logo. Within 5 minutes, Bill Phillips went and hit me up for bloody copyright infringements. For photos that you see every day on Facebook. You see it from Northland, their result. Wellington, Bunnings Provincial Rugby. When they put up a result and maybe have a photo of a player running with the ball. You see it everywhere. And I share it to my platform right here at Rugby Heartland. I get likes from all the rugby unions from around the country thanking me for sharing their stuff. But apparently, you are not allowed to share stuff from West Coast Rugby Union. I tried to get in touch with Josh Costello, the new CEO. He refuses to answer my phone calls. He refuses to answer my emails. He refuses to answer my Facebook messages. He refuses to answer my Facebook Messenger phone calls. Why? Josh, get some fucking balls and answer the phone. Or are these two guys, Adam Gilshanen and Bill Phillips, who I believe are not even employed by West Coast, are on this vendetta to shut me down. Now, the problem is, you'll never shut me down. The problem is, you are preventing me from doing work for the Buller Rugby Union. You're preventing me from doing work for Wairarapa Bush Rugby Union. You're preventing me from doing work for the Bay of Plenty Rugby Union. I told you that's why I'm fucked off. Because I'm just trying to get on with my life and spread the Heartland news. I'm just trying to get on with my life to spread the love. Quote Josh Costello in his newspaper article in the Greymouth Star the day he got the job. I'm here to help promote the community. Well, how the fuck are you meant to promote a community if you've got two arseholes like Adam Gilshanen and Bill Phillips stopping people from sharing stuff? I know for a fact Adam Gilshanen rang up every rugby club on the West Coast, and I had sponsored the fullback for Reefton, spent money sponsoring the back of a shirt for Reefton, only to have them block me and every other club block me except for Kiwi Rugby Club, because they didn't know who Adam Gilshanen was. And a lot of you people probably don't either. Man, I'm really annoyed, because the thing is, we have over 2 million page views of this page just in the last 3 months. So we get 3,000-4,000 people watching this podcast. I post stuff everywhere. You don't see my name on everything at all, unless it's on my own personal page. But these two guys are determined to say, spotlight on me, literally, you know, woo, spotlight, spotlight. So, what's a person meant to do? I have kept quiet. I finally got my bloody account back off restrictions, only for it to be now back on restrictions until the 7th of December. The only way this can be taken off, I can appeal it to Facebook. I'm still waiting to have results from the last time I appealed their decision. Facebook need to bring their thing into line. They need to not just accept some guy who says, this is my photo. What I'd like is Adam bloody Gilshanen, tell me how you took a photo of a player in 1897. Because I got hit with a copyright notice that I shared a photo, well, posted a photo from 1897, and you claimed fucking copyright on it. Were you around when you had your bloody box brownie? Mate, pull your head in. Really? You know, I am a huge supporter of the Mitre Renamite. I'm a huge supporter of all of Heartland. And this is the way one union has decided to go. As I said, I'm opening up a whole can of whip ass. I might lose my entire bloody jobs with Buller, Wairarapa Bush and Bay of Plenty. I just don't give a shit. Because what is the point of having social media if you cannot share stuff? What is the point of social media if you can't have your opinion? I bet you right now There's other pages out there that use exactly the same photo I might share of a full-time score. And they know who they are, and I won't call them out, but they know who they are. And they go and use the same image out of 30 images they could have chosen from. They will use the same image that I had just posted, except they'll throw up a tribe result app over the top of it. Really? Now, West Coast, why? I mean, the thing is, did you have permission to take the photographs of these Buller players? I know for a fact that 2 years ago, NZR came out with an edict about photographers saying that if you're at the ground and someone walks up to you and says, don't take my photo, you are not allowed to take their photo. You're also meant to get the permission of the players that are playing on the field. Now, sure, Victoria Square, big ground. Everyone takes photos of a game. You see it every weekend. But if you're on the sideline taking photos, well, who owns the photo? I've spoken to Buller and I asked him what photographers were at that game. One guy from Blenheim, apparently. He acknowledged himself as New Zealand NZR and said, I'm just over here for the main game, but I thought I could take some photos while I'm here. So, who took all these other photos without permission? So how can you credit yourself for taking photos if you did not have permission to take those photos in the first place? Really? Now, what I do have, and this is what I have to say, is that Facebook, this is what's happened. It affects every profile. So I've got 4 other admins on my Might Have Red and White page, 4 other people that help me out. Their accounts have been affected. They are under the same restrictions as I am. So they just haven't targeted me. They've targeted 4 other people. Facebook, your freedom of expression. We want you to share freely with others. We only remove things or restrict people to help keep the community respectful and safe. Respectful and safe. Now, am I sticking up tits and ass on my pages? No. I am not. Am I being respectful? Yes. Am I being safe? I believe I am. So why? Because even if they cut this off Facebook, this is still going to YouTube. Right? So the reason I thought I'd come on here today, literally, was, team who are watching this, do you agree with me? Do you want me to share your stuff to millions of people? If so, because I can't, head over to the West Coast Rugby Facebook page and drop them so many messages of discontent at how they treat someone that's trying to promote them, the great union of the West Coast. Because I tell you what, I'd like to know how, I'd like to know why. Adam Gilshan's got my phone number. Adam Gilshan's got my email account. Bill Phillips has got my phone number. Bill Phillips has my email account. Mike Lash has all that as well. Josh Costello, 3 months ago, said to me, don't worry, Kevin, I will sort out this block on you. I'll get this sorted today. Nothing. He would be watching this, Josh. So why are you even following me? Why are you following my storyline? It says, followed, viewed by Josh Costello. I mean, I have blocked Adam Gilshan and Bill Phillips and Mike Lash. Yet they're still getting away with it. I can't see anything on my accounts with West Coast, but apparently they've found some loophole in Facebook to do it. I told you I was going to have a bloody crack. And that is why I've kept so quiet about this since April. I've dropped a little hint here and there, but enough's enough. It's time to call these out. I've rung up NZR. I'm making a formal complaint to them. I've spoken to several CEOs and told them the problem. And I'm hoping, like hell, that the Heartland CEOs, who are currently in a meeting right now, are watching this. And hopefully they will tell Josh to pull his head in. Because aren't we all meant to be a family? Aren't we all meant to be whānau? To help promote a game that's apparently dying, unless you wear black and a silver fern. So, to everyone that is watching, thank you. And I suppose I could say now, have a drink. On with the show. So, Clarence, thank you very much. Rhodey, thank you very much. Captain Hurricane, thank you very much. Calm as a bitch. Thanks, Mike. I think he's talking about last weekend's result. Thames Valley Rugby Union, thank you very much. See what I mean? People are watching. People are listening. It's about time management and the board at the West Coast Rugby Union did the same. Really, do the same. So if you want all the history, all the latest results, head over to westcoastrfu.com. The original history, all the stats, all the players. So there we go. This is saying I've been on for about 20 minutes now on my little thing. So as I said, on with the show. Ha ha. So everybody, here we go. Oh, I'll add it to the screen. So we started last weekend with the Heartland Championship. And wow, we had some huge results. And by the way, we're not like Sky. We don't have QR codes. If you have any questions for me or any questions of support, drop them in the comments below. I will answer them because I'm all here by myself today because I'm amped. I'm really, really amped. But anyway, we'll have a quick look at last week's results. Mid-Canterbury, huge win over Ngāti Porou East Coast down there at Ashburton by 82 points to 7. Poverty Bay, big win. I actually had Buller to win this, so I was wrong. You know, I do get it wrong. But don't shoot me for it like other people want to. But Poverty Bay, congratulations. Oh, by the way, I've worked for Mid-Canterbury. I've worked for East Coast. I've worked for Poverty Bay. And I'm currently working for Buller. Right, then I had Wairarapa Bush on Sport Nation Radio. I called it out. I said that they would win by 3 points. And, hey, they duly applied because they were leading by 3 points until Cody Cunningham got over the line and scored an amazing try to lock out the West Coast at home and inflict a 24-0 turnaround on them to win by 24 points to 14. I have worked for West Coast, as you just heard. I currently work for Wairarapa Bush. Right, then we had the Bill Osborne Taonga, and that there was an amazing game. It was back and forth all the way through. And, well, the boys from Company Coast did the business and have taken out the Bill Osborne and have claimed it but with a huge 46-36 win over the King Country Rams. Two teams I have not worked for, but always been a promoter. Love Josh. I've had him on our show before from King Country, and they do like us sharing their stuff, which we'll get to in a few minutes when we look at the games coming up. North Otago, big win over the Thames Valley Swamp Foxes. Always high-scoring matches, these in Oamaru. Last time they were there, I think they won 34-33 or something. So North Otago managed to hold on with that 45-36 victory over Thames. Thames now 5 bonus points. It's amazing. And then we got South Canterbury took on their nemesis Wanganui, and they got up by 35-24, which is setting us up for a juicy tie this weekend coming. So if we have a quick look at how the tables are standing now, top 4 are Mid Canterbury, South Canterbury, the only unbeaten teams left there in the Heartland Championship for 2025, and they will be going head-to-head this week. West Coast, after that loss, dropped from first down to third. Poverty Bay, big win for them. They're having a stellar season. They are up to 4th place in the Meads Cup. Wairarapa Bush, they picked up their second win, of course, against the West Coast, and they've moved up clear on 5th. And then we've got a logjam with Horowhenua, Wanganui, and North Otago sitting there, all with 2 wins, and it's the bonus point is the difference, because I can tell you what, when Thames Valley actually start getting some wins under their belt, their 5 bonus points from the 4 games is going to be huge, and that might sneak them into playoff contentions at the end of the season. King Country, don't write them off yet, and then of course we've got Bulla and Ngāti Porou East Coast still trying to register their first win. So I do see a comment here. Oh, okay. So, Craig, at the end of this, go back and watch the start, Captain Hurricane. And also to Josh Flavel. Thank you very much, Josh Flavel. Updates on Ian Smith's show on Sport Nation, the only Heartland update on the radio. So thank you very much, Josh Flavel, for your comments there. And but yes, and Mike Sheehan has also come up. It was a huge performance by the Bush boys. It certainly was. And they didn't use all their bench, by the way, because I was updating their stats yesterday from the match report. So there we go. So we look forward to this weekend in the Heartland Championship. Who do you think's going to win? Throw them in the comments. But this week we've got the TV game, and that's why I've got the Wanganui flag and the East Coast gear out. Because they'll be coming live from Ruatoria, Whakarua Park at 2 o'clock on Sky Sports Select and Sky Open. East Coast are having a club day. So I'll just quickly run through these because I do have all the stats. Bulla will be hosting Thames Valley at Victoria Square in Westport. We've got the Bill Osborne on up there in Levin, where West Coast are challenging Horowhenua. North Otago will be playing Poverty Bay down there at the showgrounds in Oamaru. Huge matchup between South Canterbury and Mid Canterbury. And, of course, King Country, 5:30. Now, write that one in. 5:30 is the, what do you call it, is the kickoff time for this game. King Country versus Wairarapa Bush at Taupo. And, yeah, so, and poor old Josh was saying, here's hoping for Mike's sake South Canterbury can get up over the... Oh, really? I think he will be a bit upset, Josh. But anyway, we'll just jump straight into it. And, of course, as I said, big weekend in Ruatoria. And because this week, see that number, 113, gave Richard that number. So congratulations, Richard. I'm so happy to hear that that's happening. Just a side note to that, I was asked about the numbers for East Coast. And I won't mention the person who it was, but they said, is this correct? Is this my father's number? And I said, yep. And they went, awesome. We're going to put it on his headstone. How about that? On his headstone? I feel so privileged and so honoured that that has happened. So on the chap's headstone is his Ngāti Porou East Coast cap number. But this week is club week. So all the clubs there in East Coast will be getting out to support their team against Wanganui. And I tell you what, why not? Because if we have a look at the statistics for this game, I mean, everyone's reading it. It's 12 Heartland games have been played, and East Coast have only won 2, and they've lost 10. I mean, the average score here is 44 points to 14, basically. to the boys from Wanganui. But, hey, anything's possible, isn't it, in the world? Because I've played since 1976. And East Coast have only won 3 games. Back in 2001, they won 31-24 at home. Back in 2011, they had the Meads Cup final there. But Wanganui got up by 30 points to 10. They played each other. And then the next 2 years in 12 and 13, 2 games in 2012, both at home at Ruatoria. One was the Heartland Championship game where East Coast won 25-17. And then they had the Meads Cup final. Who can ever forget that game? Probably one of the greatest games in Heartland rugby, with Ngāti Pro East Coast scoring that late try to win 29-27. But unfortunately, it's been Wanganui all the way. Since then, they have come close in a couple of games there. Last year, they didn't go down. They went down fighting 40-24. So Clarence Campbell believes it's going to be East Coast to tip over Wanganui. Well, I'd love to say yes to that. But Wanganui, it would be the upset of the season, really, if East Coast do get up. I'd love to say East Coast all day, every day. But I've still got to make my brain go, okay, what game's going to be what? So I think I will have to stick with the Butcher Boys for this one to get up and win. So, but I think it's going to be a hell of a battle. And so tune in on Saturday afternoon to watch that game. Our next matchup is the Thames Valley Swamp Foxes are travelling down to Bulla to take on, again, the winless Bulla Boys, like Ngāti Pro. East Coast, though, are having a bit of a hard season of it. They're only 1 from 4 at the moment. They lead this head-to-head 7-4. And the Bulla Boys will be, hoping for a big match-up here. Their last victory, 2015. But they have come close a couple of times. But really, it's been a Swamp Fox walkthrough in recent years. And unfortunately for the boys from Bulla, and I love them dearly, Craig Adams and team, just you showed what you can do at home against South Canterbury. You turned around a record score from Wanganui to beat Wanganui, to get close to Wanganui. So if Thames Valley are in for a tip up, I suppose you could say, this could be a banana skin for Thames because they're not expecting to lose. So just for the hell of it, I'm going to go Bulla to win by 3 points. There we go. A Bulla win by 3 points. So this is how wrong I am. I guess we can look at the video later next week when Mike's back on the deck. But then, of course, here we go. Horowhenua. New proud holders of the Bill Osborne. Oh, am I sharing a photo? Credit Horowhenua Rugby Union Facebook page. See what I mean? Yeah. So this is the game, and of course, who they playing? West Coast. There is the logo that I came up with. Apparently, is offending people. All it says is Might and Red White, West Coast Rugby, established 1890. Everyone else can use logos, but apparently, I get in trouble for using their logo. Right? Yes, I do believe it is. I think that is. I think it is their first hit for the Bill Osborne, but I don't think they will even come close. Last year, a huge matchup between these two teams. Now, I'm not saying Horowhenua to win because of my little outburst a moment ago, but if you look at the last few games here, especially in Horowhenua, West Coast, they won in 2016, 52-22. Then they went down 27-21. And then they've had 3 home away games to West Coast, picking up a win in 24 down there, 27-26. And then, of course, we had that very memorable semi-final in the Lahore Cup back in 2024. Basically, West Coast got up by 52-51. I need to go down to King Country in the grand final. Horowhenua actually have a winning record, 25 games to 11 over West Coast. So I'm definitely going to be heading, only because the statistics tell me that Horowhenua are leading by 27 points to 24 in Heartland. That's why I'm going for a 7-point win to the boys from the Kapiti Coast in this match. So that game's on at 2:30. Hopefully they'll have a live stream of it on their Facebook page, which we will share. I do have Sky Sport in there. It is not on Sky Sport, so apologies for that, people. I completely missed that part of the graphic. So we've got the high fly North Otago finally on the board and starting to play some rugby, playing against a very high-performing Poverty Bay Weka. And this game here is, you'd probably say, would have to be North Otago all day, every day, because they're leading Heartland by 10 games to 2 with a draw. And if we have a look, the Weka last win was last time these two played back in 2023 when Poverty Bay got up down there at North Otago for a 45-40 win in the Lahore Cup semi-final back in 2023. So before that, it's been pretty much a green path all the way for North Otago. Which way do I go here? I'm going to say at home at the OMP Showgrounds for North Otago. I think this one will get them up into playoff contention. So I'll have to go for the old Golds here. I'm sorry, the team at, at Poverty Bay. I think North Otago, the old Golds, will get up. I think the Penguin will be nipping at the heels of the Weka. So there we go. That's a nice little play on the two sort of mascotty things. For me, North Otago. And then we've got, at this stage, the match of the round at 2:30. It is the Hammers of Mid-Canterbury taking on the Stallions of South Canterbury. A history that goes back way back to even before 1927 when they used to play Ashburton County. So you can go back to the 1890s. But if you add up all those games as well, they've played 148 games. So this is the 149th time, including Ashburton County, that these two teams have met. And of course, we all know what happened last year at Fraser Park with that late goal from Mid-Canterbury to end the winning streak for South Canterbury by winning 17 points to 16. I'm sure South Canterbury want to turn this around and get back into the winner's circle. Those two draws there, one was in COVID year of 2020, 31-all. You had a 13-all draw in Heartland in 2019. But ever since then, it's been pretty much a 20-30 point trot for the South Cantabs. Average score 24-19. That's where I think it might be laying. So, and I've been waiting. So here we go. Battle of the Cantabs, Mid versus South, from Clarence Campbell and some guy called Mike Sheehan. MC is coming to storm Fraser Park. Going to be a great battle. Well, I found out a quart costs you $12, Mike. So there we go. And to Colin Booker, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for watching. And in the Poverty Bay game, Clarence is going Weckers by 12. So, but yeah, in this game, I think South Canterbury will get up. There's not much different. There's exactly 100 points between them in Heartland. I know people call me crazy just bring up these stats, but the stats sometimes don't lie. So that's at Fraser Park, Timaru, 2:30, and then we round out the game with King Country taking on the Wairarapa Bush, and this game, as I said, is at 5:30 at Owen Delaney Park in Taupo. So at halftime, they're having a King Country. They're going to be wearing one of their old style retro jerseys, which they're going to auction off for charity at halftime in the All Blacks game. So you can sit down, watch the first half of that, watch the first half, and then watch the rest of the game, catch up, but then straight away with the All Blacks game, and then dig deep into your pockets for charity and have a crack at the King Country jerseys, which what they don't sell will be apparently on Trade Me. So keep an eye out for that, all you Trade Me followers. But they've had 11 Heartland games, and Wairarapa Bush lead this by 7 games to 4. Not much in it. 24 points to 22 is the average score. And if we have a look since 1970, because they did actually play a game before Wairarapa Bush became Wairarapa Bush in 1971, believe it or not. It has been one-way traffic for the boys from the bush, except for that period between 2014 and 17, where King Country did have the wins. In COVID year, Wairarapa Bush had a slight win there by 22 points to 18. Big win last in 2023 that they last played. And Wairarapa, of course, got up there, winning 35 to 26. And as far as I'm aware, because I'm still not too sure on the rules of it, but these two teams play for the Meads Lahore Scroll, which is currently being held by Wairarapa Bush. They haven't actually handed it over to King Country yet. It's a bit like the Pine Tree Log between King Country and Wanganui. So I'm sure King Country will want to put up a fight to try and get hold of the Lahore Meads Scroll, which is a great concept that was brought in just a couple of years ago. So, King Country won 15, lost 21. They just had the one draw, which was way back in 1980 in the old Division 2 days. But for me, only because they've been playing so well and their confidence is skyrocketing, I'll have to go for the boys from the bush to get up here and win this by so Mike's saying Bush to win it. Clarence is saying go the Rams by 12. So Clarence, I'm going to say the Bush boys will win this by 10. Okay, so that is it's not at the moment, but if I just quickly go back to that, I don't think I had anything after that. Oh no, we don't. So there you go. That's all the Heartland stuff. Okay, tell you what, it's amazing you can't shut me up, and thank you for everyone for still watching, because I might still even have another little bitch moan at the end of this. Now, well, actually, I'll have a little bitch moan now, because you all seem to like my bitch moans. So, you go and share results. You share them around. You say congratulations. Share, share, share. And then for some reason at one point, Bunnings, I couldn't see stuff on Bunnings. So I contacted Bunnings Provincial Rugby page. And they said, we don't know why that is. So they let me start sharing stuff again. So to the Bunnings Provincial Heartland page, thank you very much. Because now, as you know, we can start doing this again. So this, if it had a red and white colour, copyright. So this was a game on Thursday night. Counties finally got on the board 22 points to 19. Did pick that. Poor old Harbour just looking at a world of hurt at the moment. Then we had the big game there between Otago and Northland. Northland did put up a valiant effort, but at home under the roof there at Forsyth Bar, Otago went really, really well, picking up the win there by 29 points to 10. Hawke's Bay, my God, what happened to my bloody Wellington Lions, people? they absolutely got thumped by the Magpies. The Magpies picked out the eyes of the Lion and just totally demolished them by 45 points to 19. That is one result that I think is the wow result of the weekend. Did not expect that at all. And Wellington have a lot of soul searching going into this weekend. The team that is flying really high at the moment is, of course, Manawatu, inflicting more pain on the Mulus of Waikato. They got up to win by 36 points to 26. And then, of course, the Ranfurly Shield. Now, excuse me. Everyone's saying it's the shortest reign. Well, I haven't actually dug into it yet, but it's an equal shortest reign for the Ranfurly Shield of 6 days. Might need to get out the calculator and count down how many hours and minutes to actually see who is the shortest holder. But I was up and down this. I did pick Canterbury last week, and then I changed my mind on Super Brew, and I went for the Stags. Then I went, oh, no, I'll change my mind, and I went back to Canterbury. And then I thought, oh, no, bugger that. Let's go for the Fairy Tale. Let's go for the Stags to win by 5. And, of course, that was my picks out the window. Canterbury, of course, Ranfurly Shield holders again. But this one is their 17th Ranfurly Shield title grab, which now puts them one ahead of Auckland. So Canterbury can now hold their heads up high by being the most winningest team in Heartland, in the Ranfurly Shield, except for Auckland, who have probably got the most wins, but the most actual challenges won now belongs to initial challenges is now 17 by Canterbury. So congratulations to the Cantabs. So what does that mean? That means that this weekend they get to defend it at Apollo Project Stadium versus DeMarco. Now, the fun thing about these tables is if they hold on to it, they get to play Otago. If they don't, then Waikato get another crack at it. And if Canterbury hold on to it and beat Otago, Taranaki get a crack. If not, it's Otago North Harbour. But the fun thing here on this whole thing is if it goes the way it goes and Otago do take it off Canterbury, they then play North Harbour. And then if North Harbour hold on to it and then they beat they get to play Southland the following weekend. Southland could still actually end up with it at the end of the season. Northland could still end up with it at the end of the season. Waikato could still end up with it. Taranaki. So there's still plenty to play for in the Ranfurly Shield. So it's great to see it, and it was great the way that Southland had celebrated the the Ranfurly Shield in their province for the week. This game here, loved the jersey, absolutely loved the jersey. But Bay of Plenty Steamers got up by 43 points to 17. Now, there is a backstory to this jersey. Now, if you know what the backstory is, throw it in the comments. You've got a couple of seconds to throw it in, because I know what the backstory is, instead of it being blue and gold. So I'll give you a couple of seconds to have a think about it. Quickly do your keyboard warrior type and tell me why was that jersey such a special jersey for the Bay of Plenty Steamers. Just have a quick drink while I see if any keyboard warriors can guess the question. Okay. They brought this jersey out for the Ranfurly Shield. No, Clarence, Wellington can't go for the Ranfurly Shield, as far as I'm aware, and they don't deserve it anyway. But this jersey that Bay of Plenty wore on Saturday against Taranaki, at the time they had a Shield challenge against Taranaki in the pipeline, so they came up with a special jersey, and on the left breast there, right breast, should I say, there is a gap on that shirt. If you look at the replay, that's where they were going to iron on a Ranfurly Shield image and game day date. And then they were going to flicked them off, I believe, for charity. But of course, now it hasn't become a Ranfurly Shield game. But I do love the alternate strip for the Steamers. So well done to the Steamers there, and unlucky that you didn't get the challenge for the Shield. Next time, maybe. Sunday, well, 29-21. Auckland are now the world champions again. But you've got to remember, there was only 4 players in that Tasman team that beat Otago the previous week. Players out injured. They really had to dig deep, the Evil Empire, to get up by 29 points to 21 to secure their first win of the season. And I just went, oh, here we go. Here comes the keyboard warriors again. And so that leaves only one undefeated team anyway after 6 rounds. And that, of course, is Canterbury, who got the Ranfurly Shield defence this weekend against Tasman, who are currently sitting there in 6th place on 20 points. But if you look at the points, Canterbury, 28. And then you've got Otago, 21. Well, that's kind of suckful. Oh, yes, Clarence. Wellington don't get a chance. But then you got Taranaki, Bay of Plenty, Hawke's Bay, Tasman, all sitting there on 20 points. And sitting just behind them is, and they've only played 3 games, is Manawatu. So, yeah, I'm not too sure if this is the actual up-to-date table, but oh, yes, sorry. 1-3, lost 3. Sorry. I was thinking the first column was played. But then you got Manawatu, Waikato, and Southland, and Northland, and Wellington, all sitting there, only a few points back. So Wellington can still get up the table, Clarence. And then at the bottom of the pack there, you got Auckland, who are finally off the mark, sitting there on 9 points with 5 bonus points. And Counties down in 13th, and poor old North Harbour still got to get off the mark, but they do have 2 bonus points. So it's quite exciting because this weekend, of course, the games that we do have is Thursday night, Northland take on Wellington at Seminoff Stadium up there in Whangarei, 7:10 kickoff. On Friday, we have Waikato taking on North Harbour at FMG in Waikato, another 7 o'clock kickoff. And then on Saturday, a couple of early games due to the test match being played. We've got Bay of Plenty hosting Hawke's Bay at Tauranga Domain. Otago taking on Taranaki. And, of course, then I'm just waiting for other stuff to flick through here. Hang on, I'll just see if I can. No, it's not going to show me. We've got Tasman, of course, Canterbury and Tasman taking having a Shield challenge at Apollo Projects. And then on Sunday, if I can get to it, I might just go like this so I can read it a bit better. On Sunday at 2 o'clock, we got Auckland taking on Manawatu at Eden Park. At 2:05 as well, at the same time, we've got Ranfurly Shield, Canterbury, Tasman. And at 4:30, we've got Southland hosting Counties. Now, Southland Counties, jump on their Facebook page because they are doing a charity jersey. So you'll be able to pick up a nice sort of like pink, purpley colour Southland jersey, and they're raising money for charity as well. $10 from every sale goes to them. So then we move into the Whara Palmer Cup. Yep, Whara Palmer Cup this week. Last weekend, huge win for Auckland over the hapless Tui, 81 points to 5. Northland, big win over the Wellington Pride, 22 points to 13. Great commentary there by Danny Bell. And Otago, they're going great at the moment, 77 points to 12 over Taranaki Theo. Big win for Waikato over their neighbours, Bay of Plenty, by 88 points to 5. Manawatu, big one there, 40 points at home over 26 to the Heat from Counties. And North Harbour girls are doing well. They got a big win against Tasman, Marco, 42 points to 22. So I don't have a table for the championship, but the current premiership currently has Manawatu as the standouts there on top. which is amazing because normally it's Canterbury or Auckland or Waikato. So it's awesome to see the Cyclones up there on top of the table. And it looks like Hawke's Bay will be in the championship next season. But then we do have, of course, in the championship, we do have the Cowrie taking on the Wellington Pride again this weekend in the semi-finals for the championship, because that's the way it just rolled. And, of course, Otago Spirit will be taking on the Hibiscus of North Harbour at Forsyth Bar on Saturday afternoon too. So a couple of great semi-finals to look forward to as we move forward. Almost at the end of the show. Wow, I am actually doing a full hour. All Blacks 24-17. When the score was at 24-10, I was sitting there thinking, wow, if we can get another try now, that we'll be 21 points ahead. And I did say to Ian Smith, i.e., thank you, Josh Flavel, on Sport Nation, that when he asked me, I said, oh, yeah, All Blacks by 20. And he said, what? So all I could think of was, if they go 20 points ahead, am I in the head of Ian Smith? Because that's the way I think, the way I roll. But huge win by the All Blacks. It was a bit scrappy, let's be honest. I mean, the weather did dictate. And so, yeah, huge victory. I was at a family gathering that night and managed to get away and have a look at the game on the bar TV. So that was pretty awesome to see and experience. And then, of course, we can't do a show without just saying the legend that is AB number 1147, Artie Savia, Wellington boy, Oriental Rongotai, sevens extraordinaire, forward extraordinaire. He is now one of the greats of New Zealand rugby officially. So now we got a 15 Centurions, and Artie is the fourth Lucy to have that honour bestowed on him. So huge congratulations to Artie Savia and his ainga for reaching that milestone. It was awesome to watch, and you really capped off an amazing 100th Test match in the weekend. So now we look forward to this week. This is what the All Blacks have put up. The great Michael Jones there, but kicks off at 7 o'clock on Saturday night here in Wellington. The weather's meant to be, but apparently there's only like 100 tickets left. I'm sure they'll get a few more tickets involved there, but the Springboks have named their team, and they've made like 7 changes. Sia Khaleesi is back as captain. They've dropped Eben Estepeth. They've dropped Jesse Creel. And old Razzie has come out and said, we were always going to make these changes because they want to give the young guys experience at playing in New Zealand. You've got a test match to win. But in saying that, it's at Wellington. And, wow, Wellington being Wellington. Yes, even I get worried about that now with test matches here because it could be the one we drop. But if we can win this, it pretty much sets up a great title fight with the Aussies in the next few weeks for the Rugby Championship. Squad update. So after those injuries from the weekend, Imani Nawara, he's out with a fractured rib. Still waiting to see. Cody Taylor is out under HIA protocols. George Bell comes in as an injury cover, so he'll be on the bench, and Tuka Ahau will be on the starting there. Luke Jacobson, he returns and he'll be available for selection. And after the win that Auckland finally got, Caleb Clark returns to the squad, called out by my good friend Wayne. Nolan Hotham returns to the team too, which is awesome to see. Cam Roygaard returns to the team, and Cortez Ratama remains with the squad during his recovery. So the scrum halves are all making their way back into the team. So it's awesome to see now that we've got huge depth in the scrum half position. Well, Wellington, also known as the Cape Town, yeah, Clarence, but it's also Sky Stadium. But then that finishes this year. So it'll be interesting to see what silly name they come up with a new sponsor. Hopefully they get a good one. So anyway, and then really to round out the show, we've come to the big dance time. And yes, there is the semi-finals. New Zealand will be taking on South Africa in the first semi-final on first quarter-final Saturday. And then the other quarter-final, we've got Canada taking on Australia. So the winners of those two games will meet next week in the semi-final. And on the other side of the draw, we've got France taking on Ireland. And then, of course, I suppose everyone other than being an English Red Rose will be screaming for the Scots to pull off the greatest upset in women's rugby by getting up and beating the English. Hey, wouldn't that be a great thing to see? It would really throw a cat amongst the pigeons there, wouldn't it? If Scotland got up over England. My golly gosh, that is quite an entertaining thought. So, yeah, almost an hour. So I might as well just carry on until we get to the hour. Quick shout out to sponsors, Rocket FM down there in Dunedin. Cheers, Rhodey, for all your support. Cheers to everyone that's watching us for the first time on the YouTube channel. And of course, we're proud members of the Unstoppable Rugby Movement. We're member 165. So on our Facebook page, you'll see a link there. You just click that, join. It's free to join. It's just like-minded people getting together around the world, really, with ex-players, ex-internationals. It's an awesome thing, and they're all about promoting grassroots rugby. Just head over to their website to learn a bit more. And of course, Rugby Heartland is brought to you by Rugby Heartland, of course, Rugby Redefined, Vault Rugby, all things rugby. We coined that 20 years ago, even though there is a company out there, and of course H&S Health and Sports Network. So there you go. What do we do? What do we do is the question. I just want to say again, thank you very much for hearing my rant at the top of the show. If you didn't hear the rant at the top of the show, wait for the show to be finished and then start again and prepare yourself, because really, enough's enough. I mean, if no one's going to answer my calls, if no one's going to do anything, it's time to call these people out, because you don't own rugby. The fans own rugby. Josh Costello, John Canning, the fans own rugby, not you. And really, why are you trying to stop people from supporting your team? It does not make any sense. So, watch the TV this weekend. Ngāti Pro West Coast taking on Wanganui at Whakarua Park in Ruatoria for their club week. Good luck to the All Blacks. Good luck to the Black Ferns. And good luck to all other 25 provincial rugby unions in New Zealand. I thank you for allowing me to share your content. I thank you for just letting me get on with promoting the game here in New Zealand. And to end it all, thank you everybody that's been watching the show. I do appreciate the support I am getting. I do appreciate the online support. But yeah, let's just all to you, because I can't do it. Head over to the West Coast Rugby Union Facebook page and bombard their message box full of things going, why? You just have to go, why? That's all. So there you go. So until next time, if I'm still around, because you never know, they might send the bloody hit squad after me. This is Rabs, aka Kevin, signing off for another rugby chat. Thank you all. Thank you all for the love and support, and we'll catch up with you guys on the next show. Cheerio.